Afternoon, Brendan. Really good to have you here with CBF at the Ritz-Carlton in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for coming along. Just wanted to ask you a few questions in regards to training camps and what your experience. First of all, how's the experience been where we are at the moment?
Well, firstly, it's been top class. Thanks to you guys, Chris. It was, I think, it was very important for us in this period to come away and get the right facility, get the right training pitches, the right environment, and this is everything that you would want. The hotel here at the Ritz-Carlton in Abu Dhabi is first class. The service we've had has been amazing, and of course you then have a short walk down to the training pitches, which I have to say are a very, very high level. So for any team to come here, it's a great opportunity to get your work in, but also stay relaxed but focused. And and overall it's been absolutely superb.
Great. And you've been a regular visitor to Dubai and to the UAE over the years, personally and obviously in a training camp perspective. What are the components that really bring together a successful training camp, and why the UAE as opposed to anywhere else in the world?
Well, I think at this time, I've visited the UAE and virtually every month of the year, so I know the climate around this period from November through till February, March, is probably ideal for training camps. So like you see, the weather conditions, mid to late 20s, the players can work very, very hard, but they also have a chance to recover. So that's important. We can push them on the training field. But it's also a chance for them to bond, come into a great facility. Like the service here has been first class. All the staff can't do enough for you. So just being able to come to a facility that is about quality, both in terms of accommodation and in terms of the facility and pitches. That, of course, always makes it, because we could have a great facility, but if the pitches aren't very good, then that takes a bit away from it. But the pitches are top class.
Great. And I've been lucky enough to be to your new training ground a couple of times, and it's an incredible place.
Yeah.
The best, one of the best, if not the best, in the Premier League and arguably in the world from a football training perspective. How important is it for academy players all the way through to first team to have elite infrastructure in their development?
Well, yeah, it's helpful. Of course, it won't determine whether you're going to be a player or not. That's for sure. That'll all be about willpower and the desire to want to do it. If you have the conditions to work in, then great. But you always have to manage that, because if you get too much too young, you lose that hunger, you lose that striving effect to want to have better. So we try to manage that back at Seagrave, so the young players, they feel as if they still have a lot to prove. But what they will have is a great condition to in every aspect of the game, make themselves a better footballer. So yeah, Seagrave is a great testament to the investment of the club in terms of the development of players right the way through the club. But it's also then what you do inside. You could have the best facilities in the world, but if the work going on inside it isn't of the right quality to the right standard, then it doesn't really matter. And throughout my career, I've been in facilities that maybe haven't been great to some of the best facilities in the world. So it's ultimately what the player gives and how the coaching is. But like I say, we're very fortunate at Seagrave that we have an environment there which is built around development, and hopefully we can continue to develop players.
Yeah, and one last thing on that is how do you keep those young players grounded in a kind of Disney World type environment, which is the best of the best? What are as the head coach of the first team, what are the kind of principles that you do preach to try to keep them grounded?
Well, I think for young players, it's all about the human aspect. You create a set of values within your club that's ultimately based around respect, being responsible, having the courage to maximise your talents, and to always be unified. And those values sit with us throughout the club. But ultimately, it's all based around respect. I think that for any player, you can always improve. You can always learn, and that, you know, my experience tells me that even the top international players in their 30s have room to improve. So if they can, you can do it at 10, 11, 12, 13, right the way through. So everyone can improve at every age, and that's something that we always promote, that for the young players to strive, to take on challenges, to be the best they can be.
Well, thank you very much, and wishing you well for the rest of the
Pleasure.
season.
And a big thank you to CBF. It's been a wonderful camp so far, and hopefully we can be out here again.
Great, thank you, Brendan.
Cheers.